In January of 2013, ScrewAttack released their death battle between Goku and Superman. Now, the end result, Superman winning, was met with a lot of praise and a lot of criticism. The Superman fans were happy he won, and the Dragon Ball Z fans were upset that Goku lost. Now, I am a Dragon Ball Z fan. I'll admit I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan, but my personal opinion, I'm throwing it out the window for this, because I'm not here to decide whether Superman would beat Goku or whether Goku would beat Superman. I'm here to create a video that proved that when ScrewAttack did their calculations for Goku, they really did screw him, and they gave him a bunch of calculations that make you scratch your head, because there's no way he should have been as weak as he was depicted. Now, when Goku transforms into his various Super Saiyan stages, his power level increases, as does his, more or less, his overall abilities. His Super Saiyan form multiplies his base by 50. His Super Saiyan 2 form multiplies his base by 100. His Super Saiyan 3 form multiplies his base by 400. And his Super Saiyan 4 form multiplies his base by 4,000. Now, Super Saiyan God, I could have done something with that, but that would have been a lot of speculation. And that would have been a really quite a bit of speculation, because there's no official multiplier out there for it, and I wanted to shy away from that as much as possible when I made this video. Now, ScrewAttack's calculations of Goku in terms of his output and durability are as followed, and that's something that we need to have an understanding of so that we can draw comparisons. As a base Saiyan, Goku can generate, according to ScrewAttack, 8.7 quintillion megatons of force. And as a Super Saiyan, it jumps to 433 quintillion. Super Saiyan 2 multiplies that up to 467 quintillion. Super Saiyan 3 multiplies that up to 3.47 sextillion. And to top it off, the maximum, as calculated by ScrewAttack, is Goku's Super Saiyan 4 form, in which they say he can generate 34.7 sextillion megatons of force. Now, I will be using power levels for this video because they are a lot more accurate and have a lot more merit than ScrewAttack says they do, and also it makes a lot more sense than some bullshit gravity formula. Now, the highest recording we have for Goku's base form is on Namek when he fights Frieza, and that's at 3 million. Now, as a Super Saiyan, this jumps up by 50, all the way up to 150 million. Now that we have the reference in power level, we need to find a reference in megatons. And Vegeta's Gallic Gun during the Saiyan Saga is the best example of that. He needed to power up to 24,000 to destroy the Earth, which is 53 quadrillion megatons of force. So we now have a correlation between the two of them. Now, to find what Goku can do, we simply divide Goku by Vegeta. Goku's 3 million divided by Vegeta's 24,000 equals 125. So all we do there is multiply the 53 quadrillion that Vegeta can destroy by the 125, which is the difference between the two fighters. Now, when we do that, we get what Goku's base power is, not so much in terms of his power level, but in terms of his force in megatons. And as a base Saiyan on Namek, his maximum output is 6.63 quintillion megatons. As a Super Saiyan, it jumps to 331.25. And as a Super Saiyan 2, it jumps to, provided he can access levels 2, 3, and 4, to 662.5. Super Saiyan 3 increases it to 2.65 sextillion, and a Super Saiyan 4 to top it off would make it 26.5 sextillion megatons of force. Now, when we go ahead and compare Frieza Saga Goku to ScrewAttack Goku, we see that, yes, ScrewAttack Goku is still a good bit stronger, but not by much. Certainly not the difference you'd expect if you were going to use Goku from the end of the manga, comparing it to early in the series. You'd expect a bigger difference. And the ScrewAttack version of Goku is only 24% stronger than that of the Frieza Saga Goku. Now, as we fast forward in the series to the Trunks Saga, Goku, is in space for a while. He's on Yardrat. He recovers from his injuries sustained on Namek, heals, goes to Earth, meets Trunks. Now, by the time he does all this, he is much stronger than he was on Namek because he gets a Zenkai boost. And that is the natural boost in strength and abilities that a Saiyan receives when he or she suffers from sustaining serious, almost near-fatal injuries. More or less a playoff of the phrase, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Now, Goku has received several Zenkai boosts in his life. But the most notable power increase would be the one from after the fight with Ginyu. Because non-Kaioken, Goku's maximum power in the fight with Ginyu was 90,000. Now, when he went to fight Frieza, his power level had jumped to 3 million, meaning his power jumped 33 times. Now, with that in mind, Goku receiving a boost of 1 million to take his base up to 4 million is not that big of a stretch. And that's only a minor power increase, considering that Goku went from 90,000 to over 3 million while he was on Namek. So if you use that as a correlation, because 3 million is 75% of 4 million, so it's not even double in power increase. So if you use that as a measuring stick, Goku's base form should be able to generate, when he's back on Earth after being on Yardrat, 8.84 quintillion megatons of force. Now, if you wanted to go by this figure and Goku's base more or less jumping from 3 to 4 million due to the Zenkai boost, base Goku would have an output of 8.84 quintillion megatons of force. Now, as a Super Saiyan, this would jump to 442. Now, I know he doesn't have access to levels 2 and 3 till the Boost Saga, and he doesn't have access to level 4 till GT, but provided he had them, he would have been able to generate 884 quintillion as a Super Saiyan 2, 3.54 sextillion as a Super Saiyan 3, and as a Super Saiyan 4, that would be 35.4 sextillion megatons of force. Using these numbers as our platform and comparing them to ScrewAttack's version of Goku, you can see the Trunks Saga Goku with these numbers is superior. And honestly, this does not come as a shocker to me either. And I'll prove why as this video progresses. If you want to discredit Goku jumping to 4 million in terms of his base power during the Trunks Saga, there's another way you can calculate it that still proves that Goku's underpowered. ScrewAttack Goku is 24% stronger than Frieza Saga Goku. So ScrewAttack actually could have calculated Goku's potential and made it a power level. They just bother not to do it because according to them, power levels don't mean shit, when in reality they mean a lot more than they suggest. Now, according to ScrewAttack, if they actually used a power level, this is what it would be for Goku, provided that this was what he could generate in megatons. As a base Saiyan, his power level would be just under 4 million. As a Super Saiyan, it would be 197.5 million. As a Super Saiyan 2, it would be 395 million. Super Saiyan 3 would be 1.58 billion. And as a Super Saiyan 4, it would be 15.8 billion. Now, looking at these facts and figures, this is more or less the kind of image of Goku that ScrewAttack tried to convey. And that was that Goku's base form didn't increase much in terms of its power from the Frieza Saga onward. And the only way that Goku got stronger was by ascending to higher levels of Super Saiyan. Now, without going on a rant and without just going off the deep end, I'll be mild and say that these two theories are complete and total utter bullshit. And there's ample evidence that does disprove this. Because if Goku's base power doesn't improve much, then his Super Saiyan power doesn't improve much. And that is complete and utter bullshit, because Super Saiyan Goku fought Perfect Cell to Cell games and barely lost. Yes, he gave up, but at the same time, he wasn't that much inferior to Perfect Cell. Even though it was full power Super Saiyan, yes, I know that that's actually a term, but it's not any different of a multiplier. It's just the mental perfection of the Super Saiyan abilities. Now, Perfect Cell was stronger than Ascended Super Saiyan Vegeta. Ascended Super Saiyan Vegeta was stronger than Android 18. Now, Android 18 was stronger than the Android Saga version of Super Saiyan Vegeta, and that in turn was stronger than Super Saiyan Goku on Namek. So Goku's Super Saiyan power had to have risen significantly to match Perfect Cell. And this, obviously, being 50 times his base form, would multiply his base form by a wide margin. This just proves how off ScrewAttack was with their calculations, because they completely and totally forgot about the 3 years of training between the Android Saga and the Trunks Saga, the 7 years of training in Otherworld, which he ascended to level 2 and level 3, and the 10 years between the demise of Kid Buu and the appearance of Oob. That's 20 years of training that ScrewAttack completely disregarded. After all this is said and done, you really can only come to one logical conclusion. And based on all the math, that conclusion is that ScrewAttack really did screw Goku.